I want you to imagine something for a second. You finally get the raise you've been waiting for. Or maybe you switch jobs and your income jumps higher than it's ever been. For a brief moment, there's relief. You breathe easier. You think, okay, maybe now things will calm down. And then, a few months later, you notice something uncomfortable. You're still checking your bank balance more than you'd like. You still feel a knot in your stomach when bills come up. You still feel like one unexpected expense could knock everything off balance. And that's when the thought quietly creeps in. If more money didn't fix this, what will? Most of us grow up believing something very simple. Financial stress is an income problem. If I just made more, I finally feel secure. And that belief makes sense, because when money is tight, money feels like the obvious enemy. But here's the uncomfortable truth that almost no one talks about. A lot of people who make more money don't feel less stressed. They just feel stressed at a higher level. The problem isn't that you're bad with money, and it's not that you're ungrateful or irresponsible. It's that financial stress doesn't live in your paycheck. It lives in your mind. Let's talk about what actually happens when income increases. When you make less, your stress is loud and obvious. Rent, groceries, bills, emergencies, everything feels urgent. So you tell yourself, once I earn more, this goes away. But when income rises, something subtle shifts. Your expenses don't just increase, your expectations do. You move to a slightly better place because it feels reasonable now. You upgrade a few things because you deserve it. You say yes to more plans because you finally can. None of these choices are wrong. They're human. But your financial life quietly expands to fill the new space. And here's the part most people don't expect. Your stress doesn't disappear. It just changes shape. Before, you were worried about surviving the month. Now you're worried about maintaining the life you've built. The stakes feel higher. You're no longer afraid of being broke. You're afraid of falling backward. That fear is powerful. Psychologically, the brain doesn't care how much money you make. It cares about perceived safety. And perceived safety is influenced by consistency, predictability, and margin. If your life still feels fragile, your nervous system stays on edge, even with a bigger paycheck. Think about how often financial stress shows up quietly. You're at work, but your mind is elsewhere. You're doing math in your head about future expenses. You're wondering if you're saving enough. You're comparing yourself to people who seem further ahead. That stress isn't about numbers. It's about uncertainty. And uncertainty is exhausting. There's also something else we don't talk about enough. Money stress is deeply tied to identity. When you start earning more, people expect more from you. Sometimes family, sometimes friends, sometimes just yourself. You start thinking, I shouldn't be worried anymore. So when stress shows up anyway, it feels like failure. That creates a second layer of anxiety. Not just financial stress, but shame about having it. Another factor is how money interacts with time. When you earn more, your time often becomes more constrained. More responsibility, more pressure, more expectations. And time anxiety fuels money anxiety. Because now, mistakes feel more expensive. You don't just worry about losing money, you worry about wasting years. Here's the key thing most advice misses. Financial stress isn't caused by low income alone. It's caused by the gap between what you feel you need and what you feel you have. That gap can exist at almost any income level. The real shift happens when you stop asking, how do I make more money so I can relax? And start asking, what actually makes money feel safe to me? For some people, it's having cash set aside. For others, it's predictable expenses. For others, it's knowing they could survive a bad year. Safety isn't a number, it's a feeling. And feelings respond to structure, not income alone. When people finally experience less financial stress, it's usually not because they crossed a salary milestone. It's because something became clearer. They understood their baseline. They reduced unnecessary uncertainty. They create buffers, not upgrades. They stop tying their sense of stability to their next raise. There's a moment many people remember. The first time they realize, I could handle a setback. Not easily, not comfortably, but without panic. That's when financial stress begins to loosen its grip. Not because life is perfect, but because it feels survivable. So what do you actually do with this? Not in a dramatic way, not overnight. First, it helps to notice where your stress actually comes from. Is it unpredictability? Is it lifestyle pressure? Is it comparison? Is it the fear of one bad decision? Understanding that matters more than optimizing spreadsheets. Second, separating income growth from lifestyle growth is powerful. Not forever, just intentionally. Giving yourself time to feel stable before expanding your life creates psychological breathing room. Third, clarity reduces anxiety. Knowing your basic numbers, knowing your true fixed costs, knowing what enough looks like for now. Not forever, just for this season. And maybe the most important thing, stop assuming stress means you're failing. Sometimes stress just means you're navigating a system that wasn't designed to feel calm. If you're making more money and still feel stressed, there's nothing wrong with you. It doesn't mean you're bad with money. It doesn't mean you're ungrateful. And it definitely doesn't mean you'll feel this way forever. Financial peace doesn't arrive all at once. It shows up slowly, quietly, in moments where fear doesn't take over. Progress doesn't feel dramatic. It feels steadier. And sometimes, the most meaningful financial improvement isn't earning more. It's feeling less afraid of the future. That kind of progress counts, even if it doesn't show up on a paycheck yet.